So hi, thanks very much for making it to our indieBerlin tutorial. It's first in a series of videos we're running where we helping people, especially bands and artists and designers, to make use of the possibilities that we're faced with these days, to use interesting and unusual marketing techniques to make yourself more present and that kind of thing really. So as you probably know, the title of today's webinar is Forget the Cash, Why You Should Be Playing for Email Addresses. So obviously this is focused on bands and musicians, and more the indie bands and musicians, smaller labels as well. What this is all about is basically the importance of gathering email addresses and how you can use that and should be using it to build up a long-term sustainable income, long-term sustainable career with music. The fact is, at the moment while the new technologies, etc., have brought up lots and lots of problems and difficulties and challenges, they've also brought up a whole wealth of possibilities, things that make it really easier for bands and musicians to get somewhere, to get their music out there, and to actually do something with that. At the same time, a lot of bands still not quite sure how to work with it all and how to make use of it the best. So that's why I thought we'd do this tutorial today on how you can use the email address-based business idea to become better known, to actually end up making some money from the music, which is still a problem, obviously. So just very quickly, something about myself. My name is Noel Maurice. I've been an indie musician in and around Berlin. Also been playing in the UK a bit over the last 15 years or so. I'm now co-running indieBerlin. indieBerlin is an online magazine and a network where we celebrate, we feature and we promote independent art, music, fashion, film, literature, lifestyle. That's probably everything. And we're very into, obviously we're very into the indie art scene. We're into helping people and being involved, you know. So along the way, you know, we've made a lot of mistakes. I, as a musician, have made a lot of mistakes. So I'd like to help you not make the ones that I have made. I also picked up some things which did work, and this is one of them. So without wasting much more time, I'll just dive straight into that. As I say, this is all about why you should be gathering email addresses. I'm going to cover three main subject areas. First is how to collect the email addresses when you're playing live. Second one is why you're collecting them. The third one is what to do with the email addresses once you've got them. Just a quick overview before we launch into that. The idea is simply, it was born with internet marketers. Obviously, these days, pretty much all business is online, so everything is kind of an online business. The internet marketers were people who started using the online possibilities and basically figured out all the stuff that did work, made all the mistakes and saw what didn't work, and have kind of passed on that knowledge in a way. They built up businesses, they made money, etc. That kind of business model, if you like, actually happily works very, very well with the music business, especially with the indie music business. The idea simply being in the internet these days, you can sell music to people. It's surprising, but you can sell music to people. You can sell also things that work around music, so you can make a living as a band, as a musician. But the main thing that's changed is it used to be kind of a short-tail model, they called it. I won't get too stuck into this kind of businessy stuff, but the short-tail model used to be the thing where you'd put a product out and you would expect it to sell as much as possible, hopefully a lot, in the first week, 3 weeks, month, 2 months, and after that it would kind of fizzle away. Mainly because of like a limited amount of shopfront. These days, people will buy from other people online, but they need three factors. They need the know factor, they need trust factor, and the like factor. The know, trust, and like factor is very, very important. And these days, it's about the long-tail business model. And what that's about is the idea that you're not going to make a big impact right in the beginning and sell a lot of products and then forget about it later. You have to get to know people, build up a relationship with people, whether you call them fans or whether you call them potential customers or whether you call them friends or a tribe, I really don't mind. But the idea is a long-tail business model. You need to establish the know, like, and trust factor. Once people are comfortable with you, they know who you are, they like what you do, and they want to support you, and they want your product, if you don't mind calling music the product, then they'll stick with you with that. But you need to establish that kind of level of trust in the beginning, and that will give you this like long tail, the long sustainable business kind of aspect thing. So we'll get stuck straight into that. So initially, how do you collect email addresses? The thing is that I see very, very often, unfortunately about 90% of the time, small bands especially go out and play in clubs, venues, bars and so on, and they kind of focus on the night as an encapsulated thing itself. So they focus on playing, try and get as many people in the place as possible. They play and then they go away again, and that's kind of the end of it. They might have a merch stand, the famous merch stand, where you have your CDs, and you probably have a little email sheet for people to sign up and give their emails. Some people don't really know what to do with it, some people do, once they've got those email addresses. But anyway, you've got your merch stand, and you'll sell a few CDs. You'll sell a few t-shirts if you're lucky, and you maybe gather a few email addresses. What we're thinking about is, what I used to do, which is really works very well and is successful, is at the end of a gig, especially once you've played, at the end of a gig, because what you want to do with the concert is you want to see it as like as a marketing opportunity. Now, marketing is a dirty word for some people, but we've got to embrace it, otherwise we're not going to make any money. And that wouldn't be good. You'd have to do a day job, and you get older, you have kids, you're doing your day job, you can't play music anymore, and so on. So you've got to embrace the whole marketing thing a little bit. So what we're seeing the concert as is kind of a marketing opportunity, a way of gathering people over here to kind of look at your product, see if they like it, and then stay with you to kind of go on into the future with you, and then possibly buy some products at the same time. So the idea is that when you go out and play a concert, you're not playing a concert just by itself. It's not an encapsulated, enclosed thing. It's an opportunity to get what you have and what you do in front of a lot of people that may not yet know you. Once they've seen what you do, that's great. Then you've got to establish a relationship where they can kind of stay in touch with you. Email addresses, quite obvious. The thing is that 90% of bands and artists that I go and see play live do not actively go out and collect email addresses. This is a big mistake. It's a huge mistake. You're kind of wasting your time playing if you're not doing that. A lot of bands, a lot of artists, once they play the gig, really they just want to like hang out afterwards in their rehearsal room, in the dressing room, backstage if you like, or stand at the bar or something. Might talk to a couple of people. A couple of brave musicians stand by the merch stand, always nice. But what we're focusing on doing is either yourself or having someone do that for you. We want you to go out into the audience at the end of a gig. I know it can be a bit scary. You kind of put your soul out there and everything. You show them what you've got. And then you go straight out to meet the people that have just experienced that. Possibility of rejection. The fact is, if you go out, it's really successful. It works very well. You don't want to cower back in your dressing room, backstage or at the bar. What you want to do is go out and meet people. If you're not happy with doing that, I would suggest go and do it in twos. If you're not happy with doing that, get someone that you know, especially a young person, especially possibly a female person, to go out and do that for you. If you need help with doing that, that's something that we offer at indieBerlin. We're happy to provide you with some of our specialist people who are happy to come along to the gig with you, go out on tour with you, whatever you like, and who will actually kind of do that and some other things for you. But so what you've got to do is you must actively go out into the crowd at the end of the gig, either you or someone on your behalf. What you're going to do is you're going to have a clipboard with an email sign-up sheet, take a few CDs with you. You can take a couple of t-shirts if you like, but it's a bit hard to carry. So take at least a few CDs with you. It's very successful. If you go around to people, if you play a half-decent gig, if there's 100 people in the place, you're going to get at least 25 email addresses of each time you play. And while you're going around, just say, you don't have to hassle anyone or be pushy or anything. Just go around and say, would you like to give me your email address, and I'll let you know when we're next playing. always good to have a little special offer. Put your email address in here, and everyone that signs up tonight, we're going to give them a free CD tomorrow, a free t-shirt tomorrow, something like that. So have the email sign-up form on your clipboard, at the same time have a CD. I prefer doing it where you have like a couple of different CDs, so you can have your album or something which you sell for more money, but you can also have like a basic introductory package kind of CD. You can just burn 3 or 4 songs onto a CD, sell them for €1 or 2. The other thing, apart from email addresses, is that you really do want as many people who witnessed your gig to go home with some kind of CD of yours. Very good. Doesn't matter if you make money from them or not. But so what I'd say is go around with your clipboard, email addresses, collect the email addresses, just say, you fancy buying a CD? You can sell the album for €10 if you like, or you can just say, look, we've got 3 or 4 songs burnt onto a CD, nice little EP thing, €1, €2, €3, €4, whatever you like. You will sell CDs, and you will get a lot of email signups. Now, this is a really good thing, and that's because by doing all this, by putting all this work into actually bringing people into the venue, you've got them in the perfect position where you've got them there, and then you show them what you can do, you show them your product, i.e. your music and yourself, and if they don't like it, then you're not going to get anywhere with them. But if they do like it, then they are going to want to, at some point, buy a CD, at some point buy a t-shirt, at least, if nothing else, come to the next gig. So every time you do that, you're building up some more people.